You won't believe what happened to Dolores and her husband Johnny during a hypnosis session. In the late 1960s, Dolores and her husband Johnny Cannon were both hypnotherapists. One afternoon, they were asked by a doctor at his wit's end with a patient to try and help a woman with a nervous eating disorder. Halfway through the hypnosis session, the woman they were treating started describing a previous lifetime and what it was like living in the 1920s as a flapper in Chicago. Flappers in the roaring 1920s were young women considered to be the first independent American females pushing all political, economic, and sexual freedom limits at the time. Their lifestyle was viewed at that time as very dangerous, outrageous, ultimately immoral. It seemed like they accidentally tapped into some deeper state of the patient's mind. Johnny and Dolores were amazed as they witnessed the woman's personality and how it went through a drastic change right before their eyes. She began to speak with a different accent and completely changed her body mannerisms. As surprised and shocked as they continued with the session to see what would happen next. After a few months, they were able to regress the woman back to 5 previous lifetimes, all the way back to when God created her. Can you even picture or imagine what that would be like? Totally fascinating. Past life regression was something no one had heard or talked about at that time. They both realized that they needed to start thinking outside the box. They had to investigate and get more information about this phenomena rather than just dismiss it altogether. They were not confined by the restrictions of academia as they practiced on their own, and metaphysics or the New Age movement didn't even get started yet. As they worked on this newfound phenomena and had more sessions with other patients, they began to develop their own hypnotherapy techniques. Unfortunately, shortly thereafter, Dolores' husband got into a fatal car accident and ended up confined to a wheelchair. This newfound past life regression phenomena was put aside for several years as she also had 4 children to raise while taking care of her husband. Then in the late 1970s, her children grew up, moved away, so she began having more time to devote to her hypnosis techniques, investigate, and find out more about past life regression. She began to practice once again and was able to attract a wide variety of clients to continue her work. After recording, studying, and verifying all the clothing, language used, food they ate, social and economic setting at the time periods described from thousands of past life sessions with her clients, Dolores decided they were real and valid. She also concluded from further examination that the information she was receiving through these sessions was coming from a valid, very powerful source beyond the conscious minds and awareness of her clients. She concluded that this powerful information was coming from the subconscious part of the mind, and all questions were answered both from current life and past lives. Dolores Cannon, a psychic researcher and past life regression hypnotherapist, has compiled interesting knowledge, published many books and videos, and has thought outside the box in her life's work for over 50 years. The subject of her books and videos include Jesus and the Essenes, UFOs, extraterrestrials and the origins of mankind, life on other planets, that all things, events, and lives exist simultaneously in the now, and the mystic Nostradamus. In her book, Five Lives Remembered, it documents that very first hypnotherapy session that started all her research. You can find out more about Dolores Cannon at her website and a Google search.